This is the Jeep Wagoneer S. It's the first fully electric Jeep to hit Canada and actually North America, with enough power to make your morning commute just a little bit less boring. But the important question is, does this still feel like a proper Jeep? Well, let's go for a drive and find out. The Wagoneer S rides on Stellantis' new STLA large platform. It's a modular setup that underpins several upcoming EVs. But unlike its rugged, boxy siblings, the Wagoneer S goes for a sleeker, more aerodynamic design. It has a sloping roofline, a big spoiler back there, and hidden door handles. Jeep says that it has a drag coefficient of 0.29, which is quite remarkable for something of this size. Speaking of remarkable, the performance. Like many other EVs, it has a dual motor setup, but these dual motors produce a combined 600 horsepower and 617 pound-feet of torque. Translation, 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 3.5 seconds. That's almost as quick as the AMG GT63 that I reviewed last year. But achieving that 0 to 100 km an hour time can be difficult if the roads are damp, the temperatures barely touch 10 degrees Celsius, and if the Wagoneer is equipped with winter tires, like this one. As you can see, it spins up the front wheels like a modern-day hot rod. However, on a warm day with dry pavement and more performance-focused tires, it launches like a slingshot in utter silence. Around corners, the Wagoneer S doesn't feel quite as exciting as it does when it's going in a straight line. Yes, the steering is sharp and direct, but it's really lacking in feel. Worse yet, you can feel the weight of this SUV as soon as you start turning into a corner. The softer suspension allows for a decent amount of body roll through the turns, pitch under braking, and squatting under acceleration. It's the brakes, however, that leave a bit to be desired. They provide plenty of stopping force, it's just that they're not the smoothest to operate. On top of that, the one-pedal mode makes for a jerky drive and induces a lot of head bobbing, no matter how smooth you try to be with your right foot. This does get slightly better in eco mode, but it's still not as smooth as other EVs. Additionally, the one-pedal mode gets reset every time you start up the car. So the straight line performance is sensational, the handling dynamics could be a little bit better, but when you're in the market for an EV, an important question that you're asking is, how far will it go? Well, Jeep claims that it'll go for up to 473 kilometers. It's enough for a week's worth of commuting or a long family road trip without too much range anxiety. Recharging this SUV takes a little over 20 minutes from 20% to 80% at a maximum rate of up to 203 kilowatts. At home, on the level 2 charger, you're looking at an overnight fill-up, about 10 hours from near empty. As for the ride quality, I think that Jeep did a pretty good job. The adaptive suspension irons out bumps very well, and the cabin is remarkably isolated. It's eerily quiet in here. In fact, the only thing that you do hear is when you're driving below, say, 35 kilometers an hour or so, you hear that humming that all electric vehicles make. Even rougher roads get flattened out nicely. You feel the mass of this SUV, but not the harshness. Speaking of harsh roads, the Wagoneer S has an integrated terrain management system, snow, sand, sport, eco, and auto modes, so it can handle a bit more than just paved roads. No, it's not going to drive over a boulder like the Jeep Wrangler, but put on a set of proper tires and it'll drive through a winter storm or drive on a gravel road on your way to your cottage. Inside, the Wagoneer S feels like a premium lounge meets a gaming cockpit. There's seating for 5, loads of storage cubbies, and enough legroom for that weird 6'4" friend of yours. In the back, there's 866 liters of cargo space with the rear seats up, and up to 1,727 liters when the rear seats are folded. You also get a small 85-liter frunk for the charging cable or a small backpack. One thing you're not short of on the inside of the Jeep Wagoneer S are screens. There's a 12.3-inch digital driver display, a 12.3-inch infotainment touchscreen, a 10.25-inch passenger screen, and a 10.25-inch climate control screen. To be honest, this is way too much and I don't like this. We already have too much screen time while being on our phones and we don't need more of it while driving. And personally, I really hate using touchscreens for the climate controls or commonly used functions while driving. It's just too distracting and physical buttons are far superior. Granted, with this climate control touchscreen, you can just push it up and get it out of the way, but you still have to use the very bottom portion of it if you want to change the climate temperature, for example. But at least what's displayed on the screens does work. The Wagoneer S runs the latest Uconnect 5 software. It has nice graphics and it doesn't really lag too much when you're switching between the different widgets. But it can feel a bit convoluted when you start diving deeper into the different submenus. However, you can just wirelessly connect your smartphone and have CarPlay or Android Auto running instead. The materials in this cabin feel like proper luxury. There's soft leather, aluminum, and even a suede headliner. I especially like that they didn't use too much gloss black plastic on a center console. It's more of a diamond pattern. But they did use a little bit of it around the start button and the gear selector, as well as the door controls for the windows and power mirrors. Being Jeep's electric flagship, the Wagoneer S bundles in a full suite of driver assist, adaptive cruise control, lane centering, blind spot monitoring, collision mitigation, and a hands-free active drive assist system for semi-autonomous cruising on mapped highways. You also get heated and ventilated seats in all four corners, a massage function for the front seats, a large panoramic sunroof, a large head-up display, wireless phone charging, and a 1,160 watt Macintosh sound system that is powerful enough to start a small earthquake. The Jeep Wagoneer S starts at $62,790 Canadian with a fully loaded premium trim costing at around $94,000 Canadian. So the first all-electric Jeep then. It's fast, comfortable, packed with tech, and has enough torque to spin the world backwards if it wanted to. Does it still feel like a proper Jeep though? Well, it doesn't have the same off-road capabilities as some other Jeep SUVs, never mind the Wrangler, and the regenerative braking in the one-pedal mode could use with some better calibration. On the inside though, with its rich leather interior and plethora of screens, it feels like a more luxurious Jeep. And that's the direction that Jeep seems to be heading towards, a bit more luxurious. In the meantime, if you would like to know more about this Jeep Wagoneer S, I have a more detailed written review of it over on my website. You can find that link in the video description or click on the pop-up banner right up here. And as always, I will see you in the next car, truck, or most likely another SUV. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and see you in the next one, if I can still see after this one.